The AWP has been plaguing the Valorant meta since the first day of the beta. Some players love the operator because of the security it gives when a player is using it, and some players hate the operator. They accuse it of being a cheap crutch and that it makes for some rage-inducing gameplay when you get blown away the second you swing a corner. But recently the AWP has finally been nerfed and tweaked in several different categories. Some people say the nerfs haven't impacted the AWP at all, and some people say it feels like a new gun. And today we're going to give you guys our verdict on how the new AWP plays on the current patch. What's up ProGuides family, it's your host Sergeant Frost, and today we have a video breaking down the new operator post nerfs and how it has affected how players use it. But before we get into our video, you guys know what time it is. Yup, it is time for our question of the day. Today's question is, do you think the operator deserved the nerfs that it got, or should Riot have left it alone and let the community find new ways to counter it? In my opinion, I think the game is still relatively new, and we haven't had enough time to create a solidified meta yet for dealing with the AWPs organically. Personally, I think the AWP was in a fine state already, and it was really a lack of utility from agents combined with poorly designed maps for AWPs that created most of the frustration around the weapon. Let us know in the comment section down below what your take on the AWP situation is. Alright, that's enough of our question of the day, let's get into the video. Riot recently has answered the complaints the community has had for months now regarding the operator and its overpowering dominance. For the first part of this video, we will talk about the nerfs to the operator and how it affects the way it is used in game. In the second part of this video, we will look at game footage from pro players and show how the new operator plays in real time. The first and most important change we need to address regarding the operator's nerfs is the price. Riot decided to nerf the operator's price from 4,500 credits up to 5,000 credits as a significant increase. This change is mostly trying to prevent people from buying operators liberally and it having no effect on your team's economy. Purchasing the AWP is a real investment now, and if you lose the round or worse, lose the round and give up the weapon to the enemy team, you are now at a severe disadvantage as the increase in price takes a huge toll on the state of your team's economy. The purpose of this nerf was to make players think twice before buying the AWP, because now it's gonna hurt a lot more if you die with this thing and give it up. The second significant nerf to the operator was the decreased scope movement speed from 76% to 72%. While many players say that changes like these won't make a big difference and it's hard to feel the nerf, it's worth pointing out that a lot of these nerfs to the AWP were focused around making it harder to use the AWP on attack and using it aggressively in close quarters. When you AWP, you should be stationary the entire time. This will make the nerf to the movement speed feel negligible and it won't really affect your gameplay. But in reality, this is easier for defenders to pull off as they are usually stationary and holding a tight angle to begin with. Hence why I said earlier that the movement speed category of nerfs are only going to affect attackers and people who try to abuse the AWP and try to use it in close quarters to pick up cheap frags. The third nerf to the operator was an adjustment to the dead zones. The dead zones were changed from becoming inaccurate at 30% movement speed and lowering it to 15%. This basically means you will become inaccurate sooner when moving and you become accurate a little bit later after stopping. This affects people who like to play an aggressive style of AWPing. The best visual comparison you can think of for this kind of player is how Wardell AWPs. Many times he will be walking full speed and come to a complete stop to take a shot and resume moving for max mobility. This nerf is directed at those people who like to aggressive AWP, especially on offense when people like to use the operator as a glorified shotgun in close quarters. If you use the AWP as it is intended to be used, more as a heavy sniper that you should be stationary and completely still with when using, this particular nerf will not impact you or your accuracy at all. This nerf was made specifically for players who took advantage of this gun and used it like a rifle and tried to run and gun with it. The fourth nerf to the operator was reducing the fire rate from 0.75 to 0.60. While this is a very small change, it will be felt by everybody that uses it as a slower rechamber time will make it harder to re-peek and angle sooner after firing a shot. This gives counterplay to AWPers who hold tight angles and gives a few more seconds of time for someone who tries to engage or push an AWPer while they rechamber their shot. Many people believe that the AWP shot too fast and it was hard to try to engage an AWPer after they took their shots. This nerf gave people more time to act on an AWPer after they fired their shot. While this change may be small, for avid AWP users it is definitely noticeable and can be felt in-game when playing. The fifth nerf was the instant equip time was adjusted from 0.3 seconds to 0.5 seconds. An example of this is pulling out your AWP after instantly tapping a bomb or an orb, for example. Riot thought players were too quick on the draw with the AWP and decided to nerf its equip time so people will be more conservative about putting their gun down for mobility or making a cheeky play. This significantly impacts agents like Jett and Phoenix who will try to quickly pull out their AWP after using an ability. This nerf was intentional, as you can argue the AWP did not take away enough mobility when using it, and the ultra-fast equip time when using the AWP was one of the main culprits of the AWP's dominance on the draw. The sixth and final nerf to the AWP was changing the leg shot damage from 127 to 120. This nerf, while minuscule, will not affect AWP players too much. If you landed a leg shot, you most likely did not frag your intended target, and losing 7 damage points is negligible to say the least. Most times if your target did not get healed back up, a follow-up shot from your AWP or getting shot from another teammate or damage source will likely do the job and finish them up. This change was just trying to tweak the AWP's damage numbers to make the AWP's damage profile more even across the board. Players who bought light armor would be able to get one shot if they were hit in the leg because 127 damage will one shot a target with only 125 HP. Changing this damage number to the legs to 120 damage will give light armor targets a chance to fight another day and live long enough to get healed. This is a slight buff to light armor in general, but this change is definitely welcomed by people that did not like the operator in general. If you want more help learning about how you can improve your aiming accuracy in Valorant, make sure you check out ProGuides.com. You can quickly upload your gameplay VODs on our website, and we have coaches online 24/7 who will get back to you and help you on your journey towards improving in Valorant. ProGuides.com will teach you the necessary skills to rank up faster, enjoy the game more, and receive premium help from our online coaches. You can book a session whenever you need it according to your schedule. No more time being stuck in your elo. Head over to ProGuides.com to begin your journey to the rank of your dreams. Now for our second part of the video, we will be showing in-game examples of how the new operator plays. For our in-game examples, we will be using TenZ to show how you should use the AWP post-nerfs. In our first clip, we have TenZ on Haven. His team is attacking and TenZ is trying to get an angle on B site to pick off the defender that was previously holding it. TenZ picks up the kill on Phoenix's ult here, but let's go a little more in depth here to see what he did right. As he was coming up to peek B, he hopped his way over there so he could land at a complete stop as he goes to pick the corner. After coming to a complete stop, he backs up a little bit to expose himself less to make the angle he's holding tighter, and to give Phoenix less of a chance to engage him back. As he is standing completely still, he holds his ground and waits for Phoenix to expose himself completely before taking the shot. After shot connects, he then backs up to rechamber his rifle before going back to the angle he was previously holding. In this clip, TenZ did two things right that got him a frag and kept him safe from being repeaked. The first thing he did was limit his exposure and making sure he came to a complete stop before taking the shot. TenZ is infamous for having an aggressive playstyle with the AWP, where many times he will be moving and move his crosshair into the shot he wants to take to catch an enemy by surprise. After the AWP had its dead zone accuracy penalty nerfed, if TenZ fell into his old habits of rounding the corner and moving himself into the shot he wanted to take, he would have missed the shot due to the inaccuracy penalty. This would cause him to blatantly miss his shot and would likely get him killed. TenZ, however, did the right thing and came to a complete stop before firing to avoid the new extreme inaccuracy dead zone penalty the operator now has. The second thing he did right was fall back and reposition himself before looking to take another shot. With the nerf to the rechamber time on the AWP, TenZ made a smart decision to not expose himself and give his AWP the proper time to rechamber before looking to re-engage. The nerf to the rechamber and equip times for the AWP seem unimportant, but in-game it is truly noticeable in the heat of battle. Now if we fast forward a little bit, we will see how he will be punished for using the AWP improperly. In this instance, TenZ is trying to hold an angle looking into backside C to prevent any rotators from getting into sight. If we let the clip play, we will see Phoenix get outlined by Cypher's ultimate, showing that he is exposed in backside. TenZ misses an easy shot on a Phoenix that he normally makes. You might ask why this happened. Well, let's refer back to the dead zone inaccuracy penalties. With the dead zone penalty nerfs, you would become inaccurate sooner the second you press on a movement key in-game. If we slow this clip down, right before TenZ takes the shot, he moves ever so slightly before he tries to line up his crosshair on Phoenix. This counts as a movement penalty, thus the new dead zone penalty was activated and caused TenZ to miss his target by a slim margin. If this was before the nerf, that movement penalty would have been negligible and barely noticeable, and TenZ would have probably connected on that shot. It is examples like these that you have to be very careful about hitting your movement keys in the slightest amount. These new nerfs will make the AWP a very unforgiving weapon if you cannot control your character in game and be disciplined in your movements. At the end of the day, the operator is still a very powerful weapon in the right hands, and can still be used effectively if used with caution and discipline. Riot was mainly trying to target people who use the AWP aggressively in close quarters, and people who use the AWP on attack as a crutch to get free picks to take control of sites without committing utility. The AWP, despite its series of nerfs, is still a viable weapon and can still function as a reliable tool when used in the proper situations and with the support of your team. Well everyone, that's all we have for today on how the new operator plays post-nerfs. If you liked the video, then be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing if you enjoyed the content. We upload new videos just like this one every single day, and the best way to stay notified is by ringing that notification bell. Don't forget to check out ProGuides.com to gain access to some truly amazing coaching. Remember to stay safe out there, and I'll see you all again very soon.